braver than they should be.
Right.
And obviously we try to take their security seriously, but the question was about mental health, and I think that is an interesting area. There's a can-do spirit in the IRC. I'm sure that other humanitarian organizations would say the same. But it's got to be one that balances the imperative of doing something with the fact that you don't want people to burn out. And that's a danger that we have to try and guard against.
How many employees do you have? And how many of them are local in the places
So we've
where the
got
crisis is?
12,000 employees around the world in 30 plus countries. We have a vast majority being local staff. So about 90% plus are local staff abroad. And one of the challenges we've got is to try and grow those staff so that they can take on increasingly senior positions. Because if you think about what makes a program sustainable, yes, it could be a long-term grant, but it's also local skills. And so if we can build up local capacity to take on board some of the lessons that we've learned over 80 years of humanitarian effort, that's only a good thing.
Great. So what made you want to take on this job?
Well, the electorate of the UK had some say in that. The government I was part of lost an election in 2010, so I became an opposition backbench MP. And if you've been in high office, you feel a sense of impatience to try to learn the lessons and to make use of your experience. And the more I thought about it, the more it felt like I was in a dead end in British politics. And the IRC had a unique attraction to me for a couple of reasons. One is that it was working in conflict-ridden and difficult places.
Yes.
And so in other words, I'd spent my career thinking, how do you use government to solve problems? There was an immediate attraction in thinking, well, what do you do when government is the problem, or when politics is the problem? Because civil war is nothing else if not the failure of politics. So that was one reason. Secondly, I thought the organization had a lot of potential to become a sector leader. It had a lot of potential to grow, not just in size, but in influence. And thirdly, my own parents were both refugees. My dad in 1940 from Belgium, my mum in 1946 from Poland. So there was a bit of a sense that I was closing a personal family circle by doing something for today's refugees and displaced people in the way that my parents had been helped in 60, 70 years ago.
Yeah, that's very nice. And did they have help when they came to the UK, or were they basically left to their own devices?
Well, my dad came with his dad in 1940, and he went to school and did his, they called it the matric at the time, the matriculation. That was your sort of high school graduation. And then went to university and then went into the Royal Navy. Actually spent 3 years in the Royal Navy in the Second World War. So he was helped